Great Rising, y'all. Great Rising. Come on for the walk. Or get your mats, do some yoga, stretch out. I know if you're doing yoga, it's like concentration and stuff like that. So if I just motivate you to pull out the yoga mat and you can turn me off and do your own thing, knock yourself out. Or line up, walking wall to wall. Stand up if you're walking in place. Get your chair. You're going to do some chair exercises. Jump on your bike. I said weights, right? Start your treadmill.
Power on.
Yeah. Yeah. Maestro. Yeah. Come on with me and save your feet and toes. Yeah, I said come on with me. Great Rising, y'all. I just want to show y'all this. This is this is an African light guitar from Ghana. My daughter's father gave it to her. And yet, these European Africans will say that they made the guitar somewhere in the Renaissance time. We made the guitar. It was always in Africa. Great Rising. It was always in Africa. Y'all was beating each other with rocks. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like I said, encourage. Please encourage your family and your friends and stuff to exercise. If they say, where you get your motivation from? Say, I get this from my motivation from this old black lady. I don't know, I just sprayed you. I don't know why you're acting noisy like that. But, let's see. Here we go. Oh, maybe YouTube and Facebook can do something with that. You were awful noisy this morning, girlie. I guess it's going to be a noisy type of day. Hold on, y'all. Okay, not noisy but slow. Not noisy but slow. A little quicker. Okay. There you go. Yes! Oh, it's back. Okay, let me go back here. So, yeah, encourage. All that sugar and stuff y'all eating, oh, it's only for Christmas, but that cane sugar is an addiction. So you start your addiction at Christmas and then you carry it on through the rest of the year. Start exercising as you're coming into Christmas, and then exercise all through the year. Save your toes. Save your toes. Save your feet. I don't think I can live with myself. I know they say, the German Europeans, now they say, well, you have no control over diabetes. It happens to you. It's what you put in your mouth. Stop going with these liars. It's what you put in your mouth. Stop putting sugar in your mouth. Cane sugar. What brought me around? The ancestors, as they said. Now ain't that something? All your ancestors been killed during the enslavement time to shuck sugar. And here y'all are eating it and unlifing yourself. Going by these European Africans bullshit. It's not being, everything on this penal colony, it's not within your control. It's not you. It's the devil. It's not you. It's God. It's not you. It's the sugar. It's not you. It's the pork. It's not you. That's what this penal colony is. It's not you. And then they run around and say, no one takes responsibility for what they do. DNR, y'all. Woo, getting off this ride. Anyway, I'm going to talk about my South Carolina hanging tree. Y'all probably heard this before. But as I tell y'all, I am closer to the exit than the entrance. And I just said to the ancestors, listen, it's crazy. These years, I think I really seriously started asking at 64. It's like, listen, ancestors, I'm fitting ready to get up out of here, but I need some questions answered. And they've been answering them. And I often wonder what comes into my mind is the South Carolina hanging tree. Now, I just moved to South Carolina. My grandmother came and got me. And the backyards met, the neighbor's backyard, they had daughters. And, I mean, they had a lot of kids, but the last two were teenagers. And Audrey was my bestest friend. And we used to go walking. She said, come on. And my grandmother loved Audrey. Which is, I'm going to segue for a minute, which helped me also understand how we wound up on this penal colony placed here by these European Africans. My grandmother loved Audrey. Now, my grandmother complexion was onyx, like my father and my mother. And Audrey was, if she didn't wear her hair in an afro and got perms and stuff, she'd have passed. And my grandmother loved her. So anything she asked my grandmother, she's like, Miss Days, can Vicki come spend the night over my house? My grandmother, of course you can. And we'd be out to clubs. Anyway. If I had asked, come here, can I go spend the night at your house? What are you going to that woman's house for? Harassing her? They already got somebody to. So, the ruling Africans started mixing. And of course, they put their mixed kids over the black Africans. And then the European Africans, which were the kids from the black Africans, they turned around and put all the black Africans on a boat and sent them off to penal colonies. And when I think back on that, I've seen so many cases of it. I've worked with African American women, onyxes, and they would not promote another onyx. They'll promote a sunflower, a lily, but they won't promote another Onyx. So yeah, that's what got our asses on them votes. Because the ruling Onyxes only taught and promoted their mixed kids with the Europeans. Until finally they were in rule and the ruling class was on boats, the penal colonies. Anyway, whew. So Audrey could ask my grandmother anything. Miss Days, me and Vicki found some heroin, and we want to go in the corner and shoot it up. She said, oh, Audrey, Audrey, yes, of course, Audrey, y'all can go shoot up. I used to look at my grandmother like, what the hell just happened? You tear me up when I asked to go to Audrey's house. But anything, Audrey. They used to call her Audrey too. I don't know why they wouldn't say Audrey. But the spelling of her name was Audrey. And I'm a little stiff this morning, y'all. And I used to back eye my grandmother. I was like, how does your personality totally change when Audrey comes around? How could her light skin possibly make you a lamb when my dark skin make you totally attack me? That's how we wound up on this penal colony. And that's why the lilies and the sunflowers can do whatever they want to us, and we won't do anything. It's that African connection. Somehow it's DNR, y'all. So, before Audrey had the car, basically, can Vicki spend that at my house, whatever, we go walking all over the place, or after school, we go walking, and me and Audrey just talking, and I'm telling her how horrible it is for the German Ethiopian people. I wish I had known to say that. What I was taught was this fake-ass name in which to call them. But what they truly are German Ethiopians. Because if I had known that and they had educated us to that, Audrey's response would have been, yeah, they sure is going after all us Africans. Let me show you this hanging tree. But since they taught me to use the name that I can't use now because I'll get kicked off social media, ain't that some shit? The name you told me to call you instead of the right name, oh, we're German Ethiopians. Our culture's Hebrew. But you couldn't say that. You had to make up this fucking name. Anyway. So I said, Audrey, ain't it horrible about the people, the German Ethiopians? Y'all know them by that other name? And she said, German Ethiopians? What about what they did to us? I'm like, what they did to us? I know during the 60s and the civil rights movement, they was doing stuff, but I was a young girl then. So Audrey's like, come on, let me take you to the hanging tree. I said, hanging tree? I was like, well, what did they do? Audrey said, silly, they didn't do nothing but be black. And we went to the hanging tree. And I remember looking at it from root to branches. It was really big. You couldn't hug it. You could walk around it like with your arm extended, and then you walk around it. Well, that's what I used to do. That's what me and Audrey did the first time we went to see it, because I was amazed. I was like, whoa. But then somehow, I kind of had a connection, because, see, I was down south with people I didn't even know. My mother had been dead like 3 years. Nobody even ever mentioned her name. My sorrow was great. So somehow, being at that tree, it was like, yeah, this is horrible for me. But dang, at least I ain't hanged. I ain't know yet. It's called a slow choke. But I was like, at least I ain't hanged. And then me and Audrey, when we take our walk, especially at night, when I'm supposed to be at her house, we out walking around the school, and of course, to the hanging tree. Then Audrey wanted me to teach her how to smoke. Because as what, like a 13-year-old in Harlem on my own, and at that time you could go buy cigarettes. I used to go buy cigarettes and smoke. When I was in the house all by myself scared, a couple of puffs and I was all right. So I was telling Audrey, and she said, oh, would you teach me this one? And I regret it. Never taught another teen or human being to smoke again. And I regretted it. I don't know how Audrey's life turned out, but totally regretted it. So, since Audrey wanted to smoke, we had to go further away from home. The hanging tree was maybe a half a mile from the school, but that was still too close. So then Audrey started taking me towards the battery. She said, come on in, let me show you. You know about the slave market? I was like, the slave market? So we buy cigarettes. We couldn't smoke it on our side. We'd have to wait till we got like the Meeting Street side over there where the European Africans were. And we got our cigarettes, and she just said, let me show you the old slave market. And now from the pictures I see, it's all duded up. But back then there, it was nothing but, the red wood. It was just like a open place you walk through, like a market. You walk through people, but they had none of that there. Just like wooden tables and crates thrown up against the wall. Nothing. I'm talking 1972, 1973. There's nothing in there. Ooh, y'all. Oh, let's get some water and take a break. I don't know why I'm so stiff. Oh, y'all hear the little puppies? I'm hungry, y'all. Trying to save my feet. They must be getting fed. I said I'm walking now, trying to save my feet and toes. Whew. Cause if I stop walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Better believe it. I'm walking, y'all. Yeah. Trying to save my feet and toes. Yeah, I said I'm walking, y'all. So, we started going over to the slave market. But I hadn't put the slave market together until I got older and started researching and doing stuff like that, and I saw exactly how that market was. I could take the real life picture and connect it with the pictures I was seeing. But after Audra got a car, started working, we weren't walking so much. But every now and again, when I got out of school and didn't want to go home, I'd walk over to the hanging tree. And I would just, touch it, walk around it, share all what I was going through as a teenager. And then the next thing I find myself, I got a counselor. I'm walking, I left the tree, I'm walking all over the place, and I walk by this place and says something counseling. I was like, oh, I was in there. Found out I ain't need no counseling. But while I was in the counseling, I told y'all that counselor story, but I'll tell you again later. Anyway, the counseling thing was on the grounds of the Veterans Administration Hospital. And I would see the candy stripes walk out. Well, I didn't pay any attention. And then I go on, and I get out of school, and I didn't want to go home, and I go to the hanging tree. And the next thing I know, because the council was over, and I'm like, back to the hanging tree, what do we do now? What do I do now? And I go walking, and then I saw this candy strip go down. It came to my head, we're going to the Veterans Hospital. Volunteer. I have nothing wrong with that. And I sure did. Walked in there, and it solved that problem. I didn't go crying to the hanging tree, but then I was volunteering after school, so I had to come straight in from school, change it to my uniform, and go volunteer. And then I got a chance, I go back to the hanging tree. You know, what do I do now? I need money for school, I'm in high school, and I'm working. So now, I still want to be volunteering as a candy stripe, but I'm working, so I get no time to go see the tree. And then finally, after school one day, I had nothing to do. I didn't have work. I was volunteering in the morning because I was in this nursing program. And I went over, and it was just a stump. Oh! Even now I'm batting back tears. I can't even tell you. I was devastated. My hanging tree. What happened to my hanging tree? I cried. I can't even tell you. Oh. And I walked around, wasn't going to go home because they don't understand why I'm crying for a tree. But that was my friend. They were my friends. So, of course, now I'm going to walk over to the old slave market. I'm crying, the tree gone. So now all I got is the old slave market. So, over years, especially as I said, I got closer to the exit, I said, you gotta tell me. And it was flashes. It was flashes of me at the old hanging tree. I think because of the hanging tree, I really couldn't write anything bad about us. I had the one script to counsel, but that's spooky, that's scary, that's like thriller shit. But other than that, couldn't. We always had to come out on top. We always had to come out the victor. And I remember saying, oh, that's why nobody's buying none of my shit. I gotta put us as low-life, crawling, crying folks. I couldn't do it. I remember when the AIDS epidemic came out. And all I kept hearing was women crying in my head. Crying. And I would get this vibe. They killing the black African women. They killing them. They killing them. They killing them. They don't know. They don't know. They don't care. This is all a plan. And I was like, oh shit. And they said, and I was like, And they said they're killing the kids. What are you going to have as an old people if all your young people are dead? Unlife. Oh, woo. I just sent this video to the using their term, I would say the Earth's core. And I was like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. There's nothing I can do. I'm a single mother trying to raise my child in the... Couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, walking down the street. I'm thinking I'm on one street, I'm on another street. And then finally I said, fine. I'm writing. Fine. And then I wrote the play Gifts. And I produced it. My director was Mariana Loosemore. And I had AIDS counselors. And we made it all the way to the Rich Forum, Black History Month. Rich Forum was a big theater thing in Stanford. I think now they used to do the Jerry Springer show and everything. And, or was it, yeah, Maury, or one of them. So, I couldn't understand, and I kept saying, it ain't bothering nobody else. Why is it bothering me? But as I started pushing the play and education and awareness, I realized why I did. Because this penal colony didn't give a shit about us and the AIDS virus. They knew that a doctor from Pennsylvania on this penal colony had went to Rwanda saying that he can get with the permission of the Belgian government, who gave him permission to make a vaccine for polio for Africans, which is usually just a European African thing. I don't want to get there. And you have a specific kind, because they give you the polio back, but it's on this kind of tissue or whatever. And you're either supposed to use the green monkey or not supposed to use the green monkey. But whatever they told him to use that's safe, he chose the other one. I feel deep in my heart, sanctioned by the Belgian government and these swine on this penal colony. And that's how AIDS got in. So, as I'm promoting the play, which is AIDS education, the resistance is so great. And I remember going to the Greenwich Health Department, and I remember this doctor over the Greenwich Health Department and his people telling me that AIDS was not a white people's disease. It was black people. I marched for 5 days, from 9 to like 12 or 1 when Joyce could come back and pick me up. That's how angry I was. I was like, what kind of dumb shit is that? How you adopted? That's why I said stop taking y'all happy asses and jumping up on them gurneys. You're a doctor. How you saying white people don't get AIDS or HIV, only black people? I marched. I had signs on me. Signs on the back, signs on the front. I had a stick. AIDS don't know color. So, now where do I get that from? The only thing that I can relate it back to is the hanging tree. And now that I know about energy and how that works, that's what I was getting when I went to the hanging tree. And then after it cut down, and I went back and I bawled like a baby over that tree, I think I left with a lot of this energy with me, now that I understand what energy is. And now at this state, I can understand that's why my way of thinking is different. My way of doing things, my way of understanding and interpreting things are different. More of an energy-based type situation. And for people who are in energy, you know what I mean. So that was the hanging tree. I mean, I want to be proud for my mother, but I also want to be proud for the race, the Black African. Once rulers of Europe. That's how we on this penal colony. That's why we still get treated like shit. And okay, I want to move on from the hanging tree, because I gotta let y'all know this, so y'all can either stop tuning in, stop exercising with me, whatever your choices are. Whatever your choices are. Until I see anything other than Republican or Democrat and Republican on any ballot, I will never vote again. All the fuck shit that was done was either under, in my generation, was either under the Republican or the Democrats. I said one kicks you in your vagina, and the other one kicks you in your butthole. And then the other one kicks you in the vagina, and then the other one kicks you in the butthole. But you see, both of them is there for nothing but to kick you. And I want to tell y'all something, you Democrats. Oh, Joe Biden, he's great. I never asked for an African-American Supreme Court justice. We had Clarence Thomas sitting his ass on there, and he ain't never did nothing. Why would my vote want to go to that? My vote wanted reparation. My vote wanted 40 acres and a fucking mule. My vote wanted you to stop killing us. My vote wanted you to stop treating old people like shit. That's what my vote wanted. And guess what my vote got? None of that shit. None of that. Crooks, liars, thieves, money for wars, not to fix my teeth, money for wars, not to give me vitamins, money for wars, not for after school programs, money for war. When you put a Democrat in, 5 million went to Ukraine. Put them back in there. See how much gonna go for the Ukraine. And for the British Israel. No, you're going to do it anyway. So at least now I can say, damn, I deserve that because I didn't vote. It is much easier than saying, I stood in that line, it was cold, and I did the research, and then I went and voted, and then you still kicked me in my ass. Now I have, oh, dang, that's what they doing? Well, I guess that's what's going to happen, because I ain't voting. What I found out, for over 40 years, I've been used, honey. Used. Manipulated. With that voting thing. It ain't gonna do shit. But to help the other people. It's more of a support. We got all these black people voting. We ain't gonna give them nothing. Oh no, we're gonna give them a black warden Supreme Court judge. I threw up in my fucking mouth. I said, that's all we got? Ain't we got somebody already? A man ain't doing nothing? Oh, y'all wanted, oh, fine, okay. So they wanted that all along. So whether I voted or not, they were still gonna have that. But I didn't have to stand in line. I didn't have to lose sleep. I didn't have to wonder who gonna do what to help me. None, they ain't. They ain't. Don't be bamboozled. Don't be. It's better to deal with, what do they say? It's better to deal with it afterwards. Because before, like I said, I feel like crap now. All the times they dragged those young boys out the car and killed and unlifed them, I was voting. Which means that's what I was voting for. Every time they write up and make up a story about black Africans in the school system, I supported them people, but I was voting for them not for that. But that's what they took my vote and used it for, against me. So now we don't even know what they teaching those kids at school. Y'all better homeschool. Melissa Perkins, she's on my Facebook page. Melissa Perkins, I can't think of the name right now, but she got a whole homeschooling program with good people. Use it. So no, until I see a progressive candidate, a green candidate, I'll even take socialists. But these Hatfield, McCoy, Duggar, Dems, and Republicans, no, I'm finished. I told you I looked at that Duggar thing. These cults is taking these little girls, their little riffly socks and their little Catholic school pleated skirts and stuff like that, and parading them in front of them pedophiles, and the next thing you know, they voting with the penis. Which again, my vote don't mean nothing. His penis vote is what's important. No. No. Oh, I was going to get this. No. Vote. This is Joe Biden. You vote for me. I done gave Ukraine $55 billion, and I ain't gave you shit. Oh, he gave seniors 2.3% increase. Put you in another tax bracket. You wind up paying more in taxes. I tell you, I'm gonna owe so much in taxes. I know I ain't getting no Social Security. They just gonna start snatching it out of there. Just thinking it out. That's the bullshit. That's what I voted for. But I thought I was voting to shore us up. We shouldn't have to be paying no taxes. Been there, done that. Shouldn't have to be paying all this stuff for medicine and stuff like that. That's what I voted for. But what they took my vote and did, taxed us, cut everything. So now, I know when I vote on this penal colony, I'm voting against myself. And that shit feels horrible. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. All the time I'm voting. Stop killing, stop unlifing us. Stop unlifing us. They still unlifing us. And I'm stupid. I'm still voting. Stop dragging stealing old people's houses, dragging them out, making them starve. And Kenny said, yeah, I'm going to make sure they don't starve. I'm going to make sure they don't do none of that stuff no more. I give them my vote, and they take it and stand me hard. They did everything that I asked not to happen. Let's get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it came to me, the ancestors came to me, I said, listen here, girlie. This is a penal colony. What inmate in a brick and mortar prison votes for the warden? You're in a penal colony. Everyone that you vote for on this penal colony is like inmates voting for wardens. And it doesn't happen. Wardens are placed and assigned to positions. Just like all those wardens in the Congress and the Senate, all those, we ain't put them in there. Your vote ain't do shit. That was already worked out amongst themselves. And they call it the electoral college. Electoral college. That means that's the vote. You ain't got shit. They say, oh no, it's a bunch of people pick that random, and then they go to the states thing, and then they state this, and then they blah blah blah. Lies, lies, and moldy pies. Squeeze your gut. Now up, no, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for good luck. I know what my daughter said to me. She said, you know, Mommy? She said, it felt good not having to go out in that cold and stand in that line. And I just looked at her, I was like, sure it does. Done it for so long. As long as there's only Democrat, Republican. When the Crown left, allegedly, this penal colony, it was the Democrats. Emancipation Proclamation, Democrats and Republicans, or wings, or jets, or whatever the hell they call them. All the hanging, all the torture, all the rezoning, all the bank stealing your money, all the low-paying jobs, all the lies about the medical stuff, poisoning me with antibiotics for me to go to the dentist because I had a heart murmur. Poisoning me. That's what my voting did. And you think the dentists, the doctors, the pharmaceutical companies ever got in trouble for poisoning us and killing all the antibodies in our system? By taking so much antibiotics when we went to the dentist, that it killed the antibodies in it. So I know, like I said, when Corona came, I knew that they was just poisoning us, and it was a wrap. So when I saw those numbers start going up of my age group succumbing to the COVID virus, I knew they had already destroyed. It takes 20 years or more for your antibodies to start coming back after such large doses. I mean, they just obliterated every time you went to the dentist. Nothing was ever done. And you know what I did? I was still voting. Kill me, I said. Every time I pull that lever, okay, shoot me, choke me, poison me. Poison my water, poison my house, poison the land. It was always against me. So you ain't got to listen to me no more if you don't want to. Until I see anything other than a Democrat or Republican on that ballot, I will not be voting again. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe. Have a brilliant day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming on the walk. Thanks for coming on the walk.